Hi, I just wanted to chime in here at the beginning of the semester to one, introduce myself and to walk through some preliminary things for your success for the class. Now, of course, the name of this class is English 111, and the name of the class is Writing and Inquiry, which is a writing based class. But I want to go over things that I feel will be beneficial to you in terms of being successful in the course. Now, all of this information is detailed in a much more elaborate manner in the course ICR. So please don't consider this as a substitute for the ICR. I recommend that you watch this video, go through this PowerPoint, and also read the ICR for more specifics about what this class is and what it is that I expect of you and how it is that you can be successful. So, next. Now, in terms of the name of this course, again, it is Writing and Inquiry. And when you go to your ICR, you will see a very long chart on the first couple of pages, and that details the SLOs, which is the student learning outcomes. Now, I've condensed that chart into just four main things that we'll focus on over the course of the semester. The first is, of course, the stages of the writing process. The writing process hasn't really changed much over the years since the time that you first began writing, but there are some things that we'll do a little bit differently. We will also focus on writing within various rhetorical modes. Now, what that means in a nutshell is that we'll learn different types and different styles of writing. For example, when you write a narrative, there are some key features of a narrative that we'll learn and that you should demonstrate in your writing. Versus when you write a research paper, there are different features. So that's what I mean when I say writing within various rhetorical modes, learning the style, the features of different types of writing to meet different writing goals. We'll also work on some grammar. I do focus on grammar in this course throughout the course. You will take a couple of tests. The first one is diagnostic. It is not designed to penalize you. It is so that you and I both can see where you are right now when it comes to some very basic grammar concepts. Now, the grammar concepts that I focus on are those that contribute to your success as a writer. So we could do a whole semester on grammar, but that's not what we're going to do. We are going to talk about some things like commas, fragments and run-ons, agreement, things like that are oftentimes problematic in student writing. And then, of course, because of the nature of the class, we'll focus on developing clear and effective writing skills, which is pretty self-explanatory. Now, in terms of how this class is organized, what you'll see each week on Moodle is a little block that looks similar to what you see on the screen. And I'll have the lesson detailed and then also the assignments. The best advice I can have for you is to make sure that you tick off each of the things listed on the assignment side. And that way you make sure that you're not missing anything and that you're completing all of your work. So each unit will pretty much be the same. So you'll be responsible for reviewing the PowerPoint and any supplemental material, which might be a reading or something like that, completing the quizzes, if there are quizzes, or the worksheets, if there are worksheets, but also there will be a weekly forum post. The forum is located in the top block of our Moodle page, and that is similar to, although not the same thing as a discussion board. But each week I'll pose just open a general forum. The first week, it's just, what are your questions and comments regarding, this class? The purpose of a forum is to benefit the whole group. So if there's a question that you have, ask it in the forum, unless it's personal to your own experiences. But if it's something neutral, such as how to do something or clarification on assignment, please post it in the forum so that when I answer the question for you, your classmates also reap the benefit of having that question answered. So you will, over the course of the next 16 weeks, write 3 to 4 essays. It just depends on our pacing. It depends, but at least 3, at the most 4, depending on how things go. But there's a completed schedule in the ICR, so please do check that out, as I already said. Now, in terms of how to be successful in this class, I realize that when you're in an online class, sometimes there can be a sense of detachment. You don't see me face to face. I don't see you face to face. And unless you are organized and you don't procrastinate, sometimes you can really fall behind very quickly. So my best advice, even though this is an online environment, is to be an active learner. Really take responsibility and an active role in your classwork and your coursework. Engage in conversation on the forum. Ask me questions. Don't procrastinate. In general, most assignments are due at 11:55 p.m. on Sunday nights. There are a few exceptions to that. That's not to say you should wait until 11 o'clock on Sunday night and go, I got to do my English work. Go ahead and get it done. I try to post things early enough so that you can have ample time to get things done. So please don't procrastinate. Ask questions when you need to. Seek help. This semester, I am primarily in Scotland County, but that's not to say that I'm not available to students in Richmond County as well. My office hours are there. Please do take advantage of that. They are listed. If you need to see me outside of those times, please do just let me know and we can schedule an appointment. Also utilize the OWCC, which is the Oral and Written Communication Center located in the Condor Building on main campus. So please utilize that as a resource. And then there's also Upswing, which is an online tutoring service. There's a link to it in the top box of our course Moodle page. So take advantage of that because that's available to you free of charge 24 hours a day. So that's a benefit to you in terms of how to be successful in this class. Now, despite all of those things, you can be the best student, but if you don't do your work, you still won't be successful, which would mean you're not the best student, right? But of course, your goal is to complete all of the assignments. The majority of your coursework grade is derived from essays. This is a writing class. Some students mistakenly think they can do all of the weekly assignments and skip an essay. Well, that's not exactly going to work because your essays right now, if we do 3 essays, which is what I currently have planned, that is 65% of your course grade. So you see for yourself, there's really no way that you can skip one and make up for it by doing these things that are smaller portions of your grade. So make sure that you get your work done. Now, of course, because this is an online class, it goes without saying that you do need reliable computer and internet access. It's your responsibility to complete assignments. A computer glitch is not an excuse. Lack of internet service is not an excuse. We have labs that are available for you on campus. We also have, there are public libraries. There's a variety of ways to get your work done. So as such, unless there are serious extenuating circumstances as determined by me, forgetting is not a serious extenuating circumstance. So unless something major happens in your life, I will not reopen an assignment once it is closed. That's it. Now, beware. Of course, plagiarism is a very real thing. And of course, plagiarism is turning in, submitting any work that is not your own in part or in whole and passing it off as yours. You copy a sentence or 3 or 5 from a website, but you don't cite that website. You plagiarized. Your cousin wrote this paper for another class a few semesters ago. You've plagiarized. So the moral of the story is to do all of your work by yourself. Now, when it comes to the grammar quizzes, make sure that you do all of your work yourself. It's not a collaborative effort. Don't get together outside of, well, obviously we don't meet, but don't get together and take the quizzes. It's possible for me to find out how, so just please make sure that you operate with a level of academic integrity. And I do have a 0 policy or 0 tolerance policy. So there is an automatic 0 on any form of plagiarism. So think for yourself. If you get a 0 on an essay, your chances of success in this class are slim to none. The moral of the story is don't plagiarize. Now, this is something else that students should be aware of or beware of, is that I do not accept late work. That was implied earlier when I talked about reopening assignments, but I do not accept late work. Some assignments have earlier due dates, but again, most things are due at 11:55 p.m. on Sunday nights. So again, unless there are serious extenuating circumstances as determined by me, I do not accept late work. So that's pretty self-explanatory. Now, I say all that to say I am here for your success. I believe firmly that every single student enrolled in English 111 in my class and in others can be successful. I realize that some students don't deem themselves to be good writers for a variety of reasons, but I don't want you to approach the course with dread, thinking, oh my God, I'm not a good writer. This is going to be horrible for me. I am here for you. My goal is to see where you are and then help to elevate you to a level of success so that you can leave 111 and go into 112 if it's mandatory for your program of study. If you need to get in touch with me, now my office is located on main campus in the Lindsay Petrus building, room 122. The best thing that I encourage you to do, because this is an online class, is to correspond with me via email, or I even give you my cell phone number, which I see now I left the 6 out of this PowerPoint, but it should be 910-461-6357. So I do ask that you only text me. I do ask that you respect my privacy in terms of my willingness to share my cell phone number with you. Text me, identify yourself, let me know your question. And that's a very quick way for me to communicate with you, because sometimes on the weekend or whenever I may not check my email, but if you text me, I will respond quickly. So of course, when you do email me though, make sure that you use your RCC student email, practice professional email etiquette. This is a writing class, so present yourself appropriately in terms of your writing. Of course, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out, and I look forward to an awesome semester with each of you. Thanks.